Yep. You already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And right now, I'm sick right now. I'm sick right now, man. You know, I thought I was going to come on here talking about a win. You know, that's how I felt all game. You know, thought I was going to come in smiling. Everything's going to be good. Oh, yeah, by the way, Happy New Year. And I felt that the new year was going to start on a positive note. I mean, it felt like that all game. This one might be one of the most hurtful losses that I have ever witnessed. Definitely this season. It has to be. It has to be. If not, y'all let me know if there's a loss that hurt more than this loss this season. Because I don't recall one, man. This one was painful, man. I mean, there were so many things to like about tonight's game. But at the same time, there were so many things to dislike about tonight's game, man. You know, we had a lot of players out. They also had a lot of players out. You know, so you know, it was a lot of players that don't get a lot of time played tonight. It was one of the best games of the season as well. Unfortunately, we came out on the wrong side of things, man. So. Yeah, I'm not happy at all, man. I'm not happy at all. But the show must be done, man. So, since we lost, I thought I was going to be talking about the things I dislike first, because that's what I usually do when we win. But since we lost, second loss, I got to start with what I like, man. I got to start with the things I like, man. So, let's get to it. All right, so initially, man, I felt that our offense starting the game, we started great offensively, man. And Beal was the leader of that, man. Beal had a great game for the vast majority of the game. He had a great game, you know what I mean? Career high in assists, 17 assists, you know what I mean? He started the game aggressively scoring and assisting. He ended the first half with 11 assists. That was a career high for one half of assists, you know what I mean? Also, man, Kyle Kuzma tonight, man, he was an absolute beast for most of the night. He hit big shots going to the paint. When Kuzma plays this type of game, because, you know, there's been complaints that sometimes Kuzma was doing too much here and there throughout the game. And it's not like he did anything different tonight. It's just the shots were really falling, and he wasn't turning the ball over. That really was the difference, you know what I mean? Like, he made big-time shots, man. Big-time shots. And that clutch three that I thought was going to be the game-winner three, he has a knack for hitting those big shots when we need it. And Bradley Beal to give him the ball, I mean, it was a perfect scenario, you know what I mean? Like, Bradley Beal was having his best game assisting the ball tonight, and he ran the point. We'll talk about that a little bit. You know what I mean? He ran the point tonight. None of our point guards were available. None of our starting point guards were available, so he started at the point. Did a great job. You know what I mean? A really great job. And again, Kuzma did a great job, and he did a great job in the fourth quarter of almost closing the game. He was putting the team on his back for a lot of those shots in the fourth quarter, man. So I really like what I saw from Kuzma tonight. Also, man, Gafford tonight, man, he had an immediate impact. He was blocking shots. You know the usual, blocking shots, rebounding, scoring in the paint. You know, he played a great game tonight. And, you know, we're going to get into, you know, the stuff that I dislike, because as Wizards fans, we're going to, you know, there was a sequence in the fourth quarter where our starting center that was having a good game for some reason wasn't in the game. But we're going to talk about that later, man. But overall, I like what he gave us tonight. I did. Also, Gil, again, Montrezl Harrell didn't play tonight, so Gil got in. He was the backup to Gafford, and he gave us some quality minutes tonight, man. I really like Gil, man. He's a small center, though. You know what I mean? He's a small center. There's a reason why Coach wasn't playing him all season, but for some reason tonight thought was the night to have him in at the end of the game when Gafford was not in foul trouble. I don't understand that. We're talking about the things I like. Talking about the things I like. You know what I'm saying? But I like what Gil gave us, knowing that he's always ready. I like him. I don't fault him for anything of the reason we lost, or even Gafford. Like, this wasn't on Gil, you know what I mean? But he had a good game tonight. He showed that he can contribute, and he's always ready when called upon. So I definitely like that. We had, KCP hitting big threes throughout the game. Unfortunate, hit big threes a lot in the game. Let me say that. Not to say he hit all his big threes or all threes he attempted when we needed them. You know what I mean? But he hit threes throughout the game. He had a good, solid game tonight, except when we needed him most. You know what I'm saying? But he had a good, solid game. You know what I'm saying? We just wish he could have just carried it into the fourth quarter, stayed hot. You know what I mean? But to say he had a bad game would be a lie. He had a decent game tonight, so I like what I saw from him as well. Waters, I never heard of him. I ain't gonna lie, I never heard of him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't played too much tonight, but he got in the first quarter, and he had he was guarding DeMar DeRozan, and he had a good defensive sequence where he, guarding him, got a good steal, pushed the ball. He had a good sequence, but he didn't play too much tonight. You know what I'm saying? But he had an impact. But I did want to say something about that because I never heard of him, and for him to come in and steal the ball from DeRozan the way he did, it was impressive. So I definitely like that. Denny, for the most part, man, he played great defense. He's still an elite defender. He's still a great defender. But tonight, he played against two elite scorers. And definitely in the fourth quarter, he had an elite scorer that he could not do nothing with. You know what I'm saying? In basketball, great offense always beats great defense. And tonight, DeMar DeRozan, he taught Denny big lessons tonight about the tier of players. DeMar DeRozan is a top tier, upper echelon offensive player. You know what I'm saying? So Denny played a quality defensive game, but he hasn't played an opponent like DeMar DeRozan until tonight. So he learned a lot about playing defense. And although we lost, I think that he's going to learn from this experience, and it's going to be positive moving forward. You know what I mean? But I liked how he played tonight. He played great minutes. He was put on Levine when he was hot, and he was put on DeMar DeRozan when he was hot. And he played his best, you know what I mean? Without Denny, it could have got even more ugly, you know what I mean? So let's not fault Denny either. Denny played well tonight, man. He played well. Kispert, I like the minutes he gave us, you know what I mean? Still didn't have double figures. Still suspect on a three-point shot. You see he got the form, but this isn't college. He missing too many wide open threes. He got to get better. Denny the same. They both got to get better with those threes. They're too wide open to miss threes the way they miss threes, you know? But I did like what I saw from Kispert, just to continuing to grow, giving us solid minutes, just making the right plays. He played well tonight, man. So I definitely like what I saw from Corey Kispert as well. Our first quarter shooting, we shot 52% from the field tonight in the first quarter. We took the lead. We had a 7-point lead ending the first quarter. So I liked how we started the game. That's how we need to start games, but we need to close the games the same way we start them. You know what I mean? You can't win a game in the first quarter, but you could lose a game in the first quarter. You know what I mean? We had a great first quarter. It looked promising. Throughout the game looked promising. This is why it hurts. This game, again, man, I don't think there was a game this season more hurtful than this game as far as losing. Like, this was a heartbreaking, I don't know if I want to do this show tonight type loss. You know what I mean? But, man, but we started well in the first quarter, and we ended the second quarter, the first half, with a double-digit lead. You know what I mean? So, again, all signs were pointing up. Everything was looking good. Things were going the way that they were supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Even in the third quarter, even in most of the fourth quarter, things were going the way they were supposed to go. You know, but the fourth quarter, things started, the oil started to leak, if you will. You know what I mean? You started to see things that weren't happening in the first 3 quarters that were helping us win. They weren't happening in the fourth quarter. But yeah. So, but we had a double-digit lead going into halftime. So I like that, and that's always bodes well for the Wizards. You know what I mean? When we have a lead going into the halftime, and definitely a lead going into the fourth quarter, we usually win the game. And these things occurred tonight. You know what I mean? So for us to lose this game, this was a heartbreaker. Again, y'all let me know if there's a game this season that was more heartbreaking than this loss tonight. This is a heartbreaking loss. Also, man, I like there were stretches throughout the game that we had great team defense. Not all 48 minutes. Don't get me wrong, because of course we lost. We gave up 120 points, so we couldn't have had great defense all 48 minutes. But there were stretches of the game where we had great defense where I thought we were going to win the game. You know what I mean? So I like that we're getting our defense together. We just have to do better at playing a full 48 minutes worth of good defense. But the fundamentals are getting back to where they need to get, and I like that. So yeah, I wanted to make note of that. And then one of the biggest reasons why we had a lot of control throughout the game was we dominated in the paint tonight, man. It was a domination in the paint with Gafford leading the way. You know what I mean? He had a great paint game. Bradley Beal going to the hole. Kyle Kuzma getting to the basket. I mean, we were scoring at will. Vucevic is a good center, but he's not a defender. He's not a shot blocker. You know what I mean? So we took advantage of that. And, I got to give a props to Bulls Twitter. Besides New York Knicks so far this season, the Bulls Twitter, they're very into their team. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost as lit as New York's Twitter line. But they're into their team. They know what's going on. So it was really interesting just watching the comments and things that were being said by the Bulls fans on Twitter. But one of the things that a lot of Bulls fans were saying was watching Gafford tonight, they really wish they didn't let him go. You know what I mean? So that just, we got to give Tommy Shepard kudos for making that trade. You know what I mean? They signed Vucevic. I think he got traded to them last season, but I think he's one of the highest paid players. I know that. And so he's supposed to be an upgrade from Gafford. And not to say he had a bad game, because one thing Vucevic can do that Gafford can't do is he can hit the three. He can stretch the floor. You know what I mean? And overall, I do think Vucevic is a better center than Daniel Gafford. You know what I mean? But to see Bulls fans, praise Gafford, wish that he was still on their team and things like that, just shows that we made some shrewd moves picking Gafford up last season in the trade. You know what I mean? It was a shrewd move. So I want to give kudos to Gafford again for having a nice game, man. So yeah. But and then, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, we took an 8-2 run. I really thought we were going to take control of the game. I thought that was the beginning of the end for the Bulls. But to their credit, man, the Bulls, they don't give up, man. They did not give up tonight. No matter what, they kept fighting throughout the game. Win or lose, they earned my respect, and they didn't have their best. They didn't have Lonzo Ball. You know what I mean? They didn't have Caruso. So they didn't have their best point guard, their top point guard. But Kobe White, man, for them to have him as their backup point guard, that's their point guard situation compared to our point guard situation. Like, if I gave us a letter grade for point guards, like our whole point guard rotation, minus the replacement players like Wanamaker and our original three, Dinwiddie, Neto, and Aaron Holiday, I would give us, when Dinwiddie is playing peak, or at least playing a good game. Not, let's just say peak. Let's just say all three of them playing at their peak. You know what I mean? And then the Bulls point guards all playing at their peak. I'll give the Wizards like a B minus, maybe a B on a good day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't give the Wizards point guards an A because they're they don't have no defenders at the point guard position, you know, and they don't have natural facilitators. You know what I mean? Like, they got players that can get assists, but it's not a natural thing. Like Dinwiddie, he's not a natural facilitator like Alonzo Ball. You know what I mean? But Kobe White and Lonzo Ball running your point, I mean, that's an A. Like, that's an A point guard depth, A point guard rotation. You know what I mean? Kobe White looked like a starter tonight. Like a true starter tonight. Looked like he was back in North Carolina. You know what I mean? He looked really good tonight, man. And for that to be their backup point guard, and he's nowhere as good as Lonzo Ball, that means they got very good depth at the point guard position. So that definitely stood out tonight. So, and I guess that leads into, I don't even want to say, because I like our point guards, but it showed tonight the quality of point guard that they have to have Kobe White being able to just start and look like a starter. You know what I mean? It showed that there's a gap between our point guard depth and their point guard depth. No doubt about it. I'm not going to lie. No matter, as much as I think we have quality depth at the point guard, it's not elite depth. It's quality, but not elite. I think the Bulls have elite depth at the point guard position, in my humble opinion. So anyway, man, let's just get to the things I dislike, man. Those are, everything that I just mentioned is what I liked about the game. You know what I'm saying? That's really it, man. I mean, it was a lot. It was enough for us to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it didn't go down the way it was supposed to go down. So, yeah, man. Let's start with the things I dislike. And first and foremost, man, our three-point defense throughout the night, it was atrocious. When I say atrocious, well, let me look at their percentage before I use the word atrocious. That's a strong word. That is a strong word. So let me see. Hold up. 3-point line. Oh, no, it was atrocious. 17 from 34, 50%. Oh, no, we played atrocious defense from the three-point line tonight, man. I didn't even realize they shot 50% from three-point. 17 three-pointers. That's 51 points from the three-point line alone. So we played bad perimeter defense tonight, man. And again, we didn't have any of our starting point guards, but it's not like any of our starting point guards are elite defenders. So they would have probably did what they did regardless. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that. The Bulls, to make matters worse, we should have known it was going to be a bad night. The Bulls started the game with 3 straight three-pointers, 9 points, you know what I'm saying, three-pointers. So that was just an omen to show this is going to be a long night from the three-point line in regards to defending it for us tonight. And that's definitely what happened tonight, man. I didn't like that at all. Zach Levine, man. Zach Levine was the MVP. Was it? Nah, I want. There was co-MVPs, man. They had 2 MVPs tonight and then an honorable mention. You know what I'm saying? They had 2 MVPs tonight and maybe even 2 honorable mentions. You know what I mean? Now that I really think about it, man. Levine, man, he had a hot start. He had a great game tonight, man. You know what I mean? 26 points in the first half. 26 in the first half is what Levine had. You know what I mean? Kobe White, 20-plus points tonight. 50% shooting from the field. Again, that's their backup point guard. And he looked every bit as a starter. You know what I mean? And he played good defense. He was hitting threes. Again, I'm watching the Bulls timeline. And the improvement that they say he made from the three-point line, you know, it was just impressive, man. He was very impressive tonight. We couldn't do nothing with him, man. We couldn't do nothing with him. But I didn't think he would be enough, you know? I didn't think he would be enough. So, but he was, man. So I definitely didn't like that. Also, Gafford, like I said, he started well. He had an impact in the game. But he had 2 quick fouls early, you know what I mean? Which got Gill in the game. Which wasn't a bad, you know, Gill, again, he wasn't the reason we lost the game. You know, but Gafford, those 2 quick fouls were tough. But we were, again, man, we had this game throughout the game until the end, to the fourth quarter. And really towards the end of the fourth quarter, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I didn't like the fact that Gafford got those early fouls because we were really thin at the center position. Without Montrez, you know, if Montrez was there, I think the game would have been different. I think we would have won the game. You know what I'm saying? I really think we would have won the game. But unfortunately, he wasn't there. The Bulls, they made a run in the second quarter. We had the double-digit lead. The Bulls came back, made a run in the second quarter. They didn't take the lead, but they made a run. brought the game back to single digits. So, but again, to our credit, they punched, we punched, they punched, we punched back. We blew the lead back up to double digits. And that's when I was like, yeah, we're going to win the game. They're not giving up. They're not just going to give us the game. But we're not letting them come back. They keep getting close, and we keep stretching the lead. Keep getting close, too close to my liking, But we kept stretching the lead. So I just thought that we were going to close it out. But that's not what happened, man. That's not what happened. Our third quarter start defensively, man. Like, again, that was a start. We were up double digits going into halftime. So starting the third quarter, the Bulls went on an 8-2 run, cut the lead back to single digits. So again, that inconsistency, not putting the foot on the neck, that was a problem. Again, I don't know if, we didn't have Harold to have that intensity and bring that passion that we need at times. I'm not going to say that's the reason why we lost focus here and there, but you notice when Harold's not there. Not to say they didn't play with energy, because they did play with energy tonight. The ball was moving crisp. They were cutting to the basket with force. It wasn't like we weren't playing with passion and things like that. But Montrez just brings a different level of passion that we need, and we just didn't get that tonight when we needed it the most, and that was in the fourth quarter. So continuing with cutting down the lead, the Bulls cut the lead to a 2-point game by the end of the third quarter. And the crazy thing about me watching the game and how I felt, there's times where we have a bad game, like a bad quarter, and I feel it. Like the other team, they come back on us, but I can say, this is why we had a bad quarter in the third quarter, and this is why they came back. We missed shots in the third quarter, but I still felt we played a decent third. Let me look at the box score before I say that too fast, man. I felt like we had we were outscored 10 points in the third quarter. We were outscored 10 points in the third quarter, but we scored 24 points. So what I think it was we scored 24 points. So that's like 24, 25 points in a quarter is a good quarter. So that's maybe the illusion of why I felt we didn't play that bad in the third quarter. But looking at the box score, realizing that we were outscored 10 points in the third quarter, we played a bad third quarter. We gave up 35 points in the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? Almost 35. No, we played a bad third quarter defensively. We played good enough offensively in the third quarter, but we didn't play good enough in the third quarter. And that was when the oil started to leak, if you will. You know what I mean? You started to feel it, but still we had the lead. They were getting closer, but we weren't letting them take the lead. We weren't letting them take the lead until late in the fourth quarter. And then we came back, hit big shot, and we took the lead. Levine and White, again, they hit big shots in the second half, They were keeping the team in the second half, especially in the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? That third quarter was really when we lost the game. Well, I don't want to say that. It was when we started to lose the game. It's in the third quarter. We lost the game in the fourth quarter, though, straight up. Like, let's not play around. And speaking of losing in the fourth quarter, one of the big reasons we lost in the fourth quarter, again, KCP, he was hitting threes first to the third quarter, hitting big threes. But fourth quarter, he couldn't hit no threes. Denny couldn't hit no threes in the fourth quarter where we need those big shots. We couldn't get the big shots in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? For all the good shots you hit in the first three quarters, if you don't do that same in fourth quarter and close time and crunch time, it kind of, deflates everything you did coming into the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened with KCP tonight. He was missing too many wide open shots that he was making usually throughout the season. Sometimes he has good games where he's hot, and then there's times where he has bad games where he's cold. And then there's games like tonight where he'll start off hot and then end up cold when we need him the most. Very disheartening, man. Very disheartening, man. We lost the game by 1 point. And we missed too many three-pointers in the fourth quarter. Also, This is why I say honorable mention. Like, I think the MVPs of tonight's game were Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan. But the honorable mentions was Kobe White and Vucevic, because Vucevic, he didn't seem like he was that effective for the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, he was very effective. You know what I mean? He was very effective. He was scoring like he was just a problem. He's bigger than all of our centers, and he was way bigger than Gill. You know what I'm saying? And he was killing Gill. So he had a good game tonight. Again, DeMar DeRozan, he took over in the fourth quarter. He was their MVP in the fourth quarter, man, and he made their game-winning shot. Triple zeros on the clock, man. To hit that game winner, that was hurtful. I mean, Kuzma made a big 3, and I'm like, yo, this game might be over. And not only did DeRozan hit that 3, it wasn't like there was a hand in his face. I mean, they played great defense against him at the end. And he just made a tough shot, man. And those be the heartbreakers when you couldn't do nothing about it. It's just great offense beats great defense. And that's why this one hurts so much, you know? Another thing I didn't like, man, Bradley Beal. He played a great game overall tonight. And I don't want to fault him because I'm not going to say he's not the reason we lost. He's the reason why we almost won the game. But I won't say he chose to. That's too harsh of a word. But he missed his first 2 free throws in crunch time in the fourth quarter. Again, we lost the game by 1 point. If he goes perfect like he was the first 3 quarters, if he goes perfect for the game, we win the game. If KCP or Denny hits one of those 3s in the fourth, we win the game. We lost focus on defense. Somewhat, but then great players. Zach Levine, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic. And then, out of those 3, those are the starters. But for Kobe White to have a game that he had, not to say he's a good player. He's a good player, but for him to have a starter's game, he looked like a starter tonight. That was a big reason why we lost the game as well. Like, we can't let players that don't start for their respective teams come in and have big games against us. Even if, no matter what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I know we were missing players, you know what I'm saying? But still, we can't have a Kobe White going crazy on us and expect for us to win the game. No disrespect to Kobe White because he's not a bad player, but he's their backup point guard. So, again, second half, fourth quarter, too many missed shots. Too many big missed shots. You know what I mean? Kuzma was carrying us as far as he could. But even made the clutch 3 to be the game winner. But there were too many mishaps. Too many missed shots. And they made shots. When they needed to make shots, they made shots. When we needed to make shots, we missed shots. That was the difference in the game. We were 5 for 25 from the 3-point line as well. Terrible. Again, they were 50% from the 3-point line. We were 5 for 25, so that's 20% from the 3-point line. I mean, that's the reason we lost the game. But we dominated the paint. But if we made a couple more 3s, we would have won the game. For us to dominate the paint the way we did tonight and not win the game, that's very disheartening, Very tough, man. Sick about that. But one of the big things, and this is debatable to say if this wasn't the case, we would have won the game, we would have lost it. It's debatable what I'm about to say. But what I did not understand was in the fourth quarter, and I know Gill was giving us good minutes. I don't know what Gafford did to not be in the game at the end of the fourth quarter when we needed to box out Vucevic. And we couldn't box him out. He gets the rebound in the and 1. Like, why wasn't Gafford in the game? And then I look at the box score. Gill played more minutes than Gafford, which is mind-boggling. Like, how? How does a player that coach did not want to play throughout the season, didn't get no minutes? He gets minutes because we have players missing. Listen, I'm not mad at. But he shouldn't be in at the end of the game. When we need clutch rebounds, clutch defense, clutch block shots, we need our best defensive center in the game. Why do we have Gill in the game? I don't understand. I didn't understand that at all, man. And I think that cost us. That was a bad coaching decision by Coach Unseld. I don't understand that, yo. Like, I'm upset about that. Like, seeing that and seeing how Vucevic got that rebound on him, on Gill like that, I'm like, he might have did that to Gafford because he's bigger than Gafford, but I would take my chances with Gafford over Gill in clutch time when we needed a stop. That was the most egregious coaching decision of the night, man. You know what I mean? I was very upset about that. It made no sense to me at all. It made no sense, and it was a big reason why I feel we lost the game. Just a bad coaching decision. To have Gill play more minutes than Gafford, unless Gafford was hurt or something like that, unless that was the case, it was a bad coaching decision. No, there's no way around that. That was a bad coaching decision. So I'm very disappointed in Coach Unseld. He usually makes decent to good coaching decisions, especially when it's in-game personnel, adjustments, all of that. But for him to have Gill in the game instead of Gafford when we needed him is very unacceptable, man. Very unacceptable. And we took a bad loss because we didn't have anyone big enough to box out Vucevic when we needed it, man. So, you know, I'm sick about that, man. I'm still, like, seething that we lost this game tonight, man. This was a game that we should have won. For us to lose that game last second, letting them come back slowly, we missed key free throws, key wide open threes in crunch time. I don't care what you do in the first 3 quarters or even in the first half of the fourth quarter. I don't care. If you don't close the game out, all of that stuff that you did earlier in the game does not matter. It don't matter. You lost the game. You had Bradley Beal career high in assists. 17 assists running the point guard. Lose the game. Because he missed the free throws. 2 clutch free throws in the fourth quarter. Again, it's not his fault we lost the game. But yo, you are our best player. You can't miss those when we need them. Coach, you gotta have Gafford in the game. He almost had a double-double. If he was in the game, he might have got that rebound or 2. Took it as double-double, and we get the win. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And then speaking of Bradley Beal, there was a debate on Wizards Twitter, you know. Again, Bradley Beal played a great game. He ran the point tonight. A lot of people was like, man, Bradley Beal should run the point. And then there's a few people saying Dinwiddie just got to go. We don't need him at all. And I disagree vehemently with that. You know what I'm saying? We do need Dinwiddie. But Bradley Beal, I mean, point guard, 2 guard. Because Dinwiddie, again, he's not a natural point guard either. They're both, well, Dinwiddie's more of a combo guard. Bradley Beal, he's a 2 guard, but he showed that if you gave him the label of combo guard, it could, you know, he showed tonight he could run the point, 17 assists, only 2 turnovers. I mean, and again, those 2 turnovers, again, happened in the fourth. As good as Bradley Beal played throughout the game, he made the things that he wasn't doing in the first 3 quarters to help us win. He did in the fourth quarter, turn the ball over, miss free throws. You know? But anyway, I digress. The debate on Twitter saying Bradley Beal should run the point. Yo, whether Bradley Beal is, you know, labeled the point guard or Dinwiddie's labeled the point guard, it really doesn't matter. But what does matter is Bradley Beal handles the ball more. You know what I mean? Bradley Beal should run the point guard position a little more because Dinwiddie could play off the ball, and maybe that might help Dinwiddie as well. They both shown that they can play well, but they haven't done it together yet. Like when Beal was out, Dinwiddie played his best basketball this season. Dinwiddie's been out. Bradley Beal's, well, he's been getting back into form. We need to see that combination together on the court at the same time, playing at that high level for us to maximize our talent on the roster. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. They're both getting their feet back. Bradley Beal's looking like classic Bradley Beal overall. You know what I mean? Classic, all-star, all-NBA Bradley Beal. He's been looking like that the last few games, and he looks like he's going to continue that. So I'm just hoping that there's no rough spots moving forward. All of that rust was in the past. You know what I mean? Now he's back to form, and we just need him to carry that. And we need Dinwiddie to come back and do that same thing that he's been doing when Bradley Beal wasn't in the game. We have those two playing at peak level. And then we have a chance to make some noise in the East, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, the East going to be tough. We just played a tough opponent that didn't have their starting point guard. Lonzo Ball is no joke. He's a great defender at the point guard position. So for him not to be there, you know what I mean? They're going to be a tough out for anybody in the East this year. This Eastern Conference is going to be very competitive. And that's why losing this game again is just very disheartening, sickening that we lost this game, man. I'm hurt about it, man. I really am, man. Really am. But yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all tonight. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Tough year. It's a tough way to start the new year, especially when it felt so good at the same time. Like, it felt good throughout the game. Looked like we had the game under control. But I feel like bad coaching decisions, lack of focus in the fourth quarter, really the big reasons why we lost the game. You know, big reasons why we lost the game. And give credit to the Bulls, never giving up, and DeMar DeRozan doing what DeMar DeRozan does, especially in the fourth quarter. Levine, he held it down for 3 quarters, and that's a luxury to have 2 players at that caliber level. 30, they both can put up 30 points in any given game. So for them to say, okay, one player hold it down for us for the first 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, the other player closes it out for them. I mean, that's a tough thing for any team to defend, man. You know what I mean? Denny did an admirable job tonight, but he played against some elite scoring talent, and he even fouled out trying to guard them. So that just shows you how good they are, man. So, yeah, man. Anyway, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. You like the content, man, I really would appreciate you guys subscribing to the Wizards Review on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You could also follow me, King Ade DMV, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the Xbox Series X and S on NBA 2K22. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, tough loss. They got to shake it off fast. They need to shake it off fast. We got a game coming up where we can rebound, man. We showed a lot of good things. We need to carry a lot of those good things that we showed tonight into the next game and moving forward throughout the season. We need to show more resolve and focus in the fourth quarter, though. That's what needs to happen, man. More focus. The same intensity that they played with in the first, second, and third quarter, they have to play like that in the fourth quarter as well. So, yeah, man. So anyway, man, I'm about to be out, man. I hope y'all had a good new year. I look forward to seeing y'all next time, man. Take care. Enjoy the evening, all right? Peace.